Guys, it's Fish, and I'm back with another episode of Panzer Corps. Now, in the last one, I sort of explained what I love about turn-based strategy and Panzer General, and it really took me back to my youth, where I played that game almost obsessively. Not that my computer couldn't handle a better game, but I was always intrigued by the game itself. Now, in this episode, and we also played through the first tutorial mission. So now we're going to continue, hopefully finish all the tutorial missions. I think we've gotten most of the pop-ups out of the way, so we shouldn't have to worry about that too much. And then hopefully we can get started on the first mission of the actual campaign. That might be in the third episode though, we'll just see how we go. Alright guys, let's continue on. I don't think they've voice acted the end part. Okay, outstanding work here, Oberst. And I think Oberst is a colonel level, if I remember correctly. Managed to secure all the objectives, blah, 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 blah. All the best, reward.
Welcome to your second training scenario, Herr Oberst. I trust you are prepared. Your new objectives are a series of fortifications due north of your forces. Once you have occupied all primary targets, the scenario will be complete. A rival training officer has been placed in command of these blue troops. Do not allow him to prevail. In preparation for your upcoming simulation, we are granting you access to reconnaissance and artillery units. Recon units are good tools for scouting out enemy positions, and artillery batteries are excellent at softening up entrenched enemy units from a safe distance. You have also been granted additional core unit slots that you may fill with units of your choosing. Your core units will stay with your command from scenario to scenario and throughout your campaign. If you lead your troops well, they will serve you throughout your career. Remember to pay close attention to new equipment that becomes available to you during the army management phase that follows these briefings. Think of this as a chance to review your corps, as well as your upcoming mission. I hold you responsible for the welfare of your men.
Guys, bit of a sudden cut there, just had something to deal with at home, but that's okay. You didn't miss anything, you just missed the briefing, which is telling me that it was going to be clear. And we have 14 turns to complete this mission, and if we complete it with 5 remaining, we get a decisive victory. Now, at the start of this, it mentioned a little thing called core units, and I want to sort of explain what that means. So you have a core army that you roll with, and as you get bigger and bigger missions within this game, your core will grow. So you'll get more tanks, you'll get more infantry, more artillery, more planes, and everything else. Now, you have a certain limit on how big your core can be, and if you have a look here at the top, it says units to deploy 7 of 7. Now, I believe that is your core, how big your core can be. Now, I only have 5, so I can buy 2 more units with the prestige that I have, and I have over 1,000 prestige, so it's plenty of prestige to then bolster my forces with whatever I think that I need. I can also spend that prestige on other things, such as these new units. So they've upgraded my Panzer tanks from the 1 Alpha, which is what this guy is, to the 1 Bravo, so I'll probably upgrade him. You get a very minor upgrade, but I think it's worth it in the long run. We get a recon unit here that we can buy for our core. There's another recon unit, and they'll actually show you how much they cost, how far they move, how far they see. So these ones seem much different. What's the big difference? One carries a bit more fuel, and one carries more ammo, and one does better against air. But apart from that, they're both fairly similar to each other, so I don't really see much point in buying one over the other. So we can get some Grenadiers, which are actually really, really good assaulting troops. Panzer 1 Bravo, which I believe has 1 extra infantry attack. I'll have a look when I go to upgrade my other guy. And also we get an artillery, which is the 7.5 centimeter FK16NA. Now I don't know what all those designations mean, but I know the 7.5 centimeter is the width of the shell that it fires. Alright, so it lets you know what new equipment. and eventually we'll start getting a lot more stuff. Now, welcome to the deployment phase. You can actually, they give you these deployment areas that you can actually deploy into, and you can arrange it however you like. You put your tanks at the front, your infantry at the back, your infantry at the front, and your tanks at the back, your artillery at the front, however you'd like to set it up. You can also purchase additional slots within the purchase button. Alright, so let's go into that. Replacements, yeah, we've seen replacements already, so we don't have to worry about that. When you've highlighted the zone, you then use the strategic map to quickly find all the potential. Ah, yes, of course. So if I scroll out, sometimes you're not limited by the first one that you see. Sometimes they might let me deploy up here, so I can have two forces all pushing for the one area. Now this is my target. Now they're not towns this time, they're just entrenched areas. Bit of a defense there, and I did beat it before I started recording, just to sort of get a feel for the game again. So let's have a look at what we can actually do with our guys. Now, can we upgrade this unit? Yep, we can upgrade, and we're better off upgrading before you deploy than after you deploy, because it costs a turn if I do it within the map, but if I do it here, it doesn't cost me a turn. So you want to upgrade things beforehand. But obviously that's going to be subject to how much prestige you have at the start. So the Panzer 1 Alpha versus Bravo, the only difference is we lose a bit of fuel. So the fuel is a component in this game, and I don't believe it was a big thing in Panzer General. I believe ammo was, but not fuel. Okay, so the big difference is it costs a bit more. We lose 1 point of fuel. We get to hold an extra piece of ammunition, and it gets a point of initiative. So less likely to be rugged defense and more likely to rugged defense, I believe. I'm happy to be corrected on that, but I'm going to upgrade that, definitely. Alright, let's go in to upgrade these guys. Now, I'm not going to change them to Grenadiers. It is a little bit of a difference. Less ammo, they do more against them, and but they move slower, I believe. Yeah, they do. So they move 1 point slower without a vehicle. But what I will do is I'll buy them a vehicle, because I think having vehicles on all your troops is a really, really good idea. And we're going to elite replace them as well, and them, and them. Doesn't cost too much. We're still above 1,000. We're going to go in here. We're going to upgrade these guys. I think they already have a vehicle. They do. Can upgrade these guys. They've got a vehicle as well. So these guys must be the ones that didn't have a vehicle in the last one. And yes. So the Opel Blitz. Now eventually you do get half tracks and things like that, but they get very, very costly, and I don't think half tracks move as far as a normal vehicle, the normal trucks do. So you got to trade off that ability to defend themselves when they're in the half track versus the ability to move a bit further. Alright, so what do we want to buy? Purchase tab. Now where's the purchase tab? Is it down here? Purchase tab, there we go. So we have 7 core slots, so I was right. So what are we going to buy? So we've got an opportunity to buy some infantry, which might not be the worst idea in the world. Another tank, which I don't think we need at this stage. I'm happy with the fact that we've got recon. So do I want another artillery? No, I'm thinking let's get a grenadier with a truck. It's going to cost 167. And maybe we will buy a second tank actually, because it might come in handy for the next mission. So let's buy that. Excellent. That's looking really, really good. And you can see up here it tells you who's got trucks and who doesn't. I didn't notice that before because I'm blind. So looking good. And conveniently we have 7 slots that we can deploy. Alright. What are we going to do? So let's put our tanks in the front. Okay, you can undeploy a unit at any time. Yep, cool. And deploy. And you can see that these guys come out with no experience at all. So did I buy some grenadiers? I did. So let's just have a look at the difference between... No, you can't really. Now, one thing I want to talk about is the difference between core units and non-core units. Now, I started on it, and then I don't know, I got a little sidetracked, I think. So the core units are going to carry on from mission to mission, whereas my non-core units are not. Now, these 7 guys that I've got, they got little gold bars around, or gold trimming around their number or their strength. Now these guys do not, so I get these 4 for the mission, but they will not carry over to the next mission, whereas my core guys will gain experience and will carry over to the next mission. So let's just place everybody. Units, this unit has earned some experience stars from previous battles, is now able to overstrength because it's got 1 star. Increases strength beyond the normal limit. A unit earns star for each 100 points of experience, and for each star it can be overstrength by 1 point. In order for to overstrength a unit, only 1 point of strength is added each turn. Note that overstrength units cost more than ordinary replacements, but every point of overstrength makes your elite units even stronger. That's true. You know, if you're going 11 versus 10, that's actually a big thing. Well, how much is an overstrength and a cost? 113 prestige for 1 guy. No thank you. End of my deployment. End your turn to finish deployment and begin the battle. Alright. Here we go. Here, so we have, with at least 5 turns remaining, we'll get a decisive victory. And we have dry weather. Wow, at the rate that I am going with these, I am not going to finish this tutorial in this episode. I really need to get a wriggle on. Alright, so recon movement. Recon units have the ability that allows them to make several moves per turn. Each time they pause, it uses up an additional movement point. This means the unit can move further in one long turn than several smaller moves, but at the risk of meeting hidden enemy units and being ambushed. This ability also allows recon units to move several hexes in enemy zones of control, which is not normally possible. Yep. So we're scouting with these guys. And they see further as well, which is good. So we're going to use this guy to scout ahead, just to see what's ahead. Now I know there's an enemy up here, so I'm not going to... and look at that. Hindsight. They wanted to ambush me on the road, and they probably would have succeeded. So let's get the rest of our troops moving along. Now we want to use this road as much as we can to make sure that we get the movement bonuses. A unit standing in a supply hex can be upgraded to a different unit with different equipment. Yeah, so you can only upgrade when you're in a town. Cool. I don't really care. Let's just, this isn't hard, so let's just push and push and push. There's only 1 troop out, and then the rest of them are up at the victory points up here. So I'm not really too concerned. Although I shouldn't really know that. Okay, so I'm going to shoot him. Can I kill them both? No, I cannot. Long-term suppression. This enemy unit was suppressed by your fire. Normally any suppression caused by combat disappears immediately after that combat. But some units, artillery, strategic bombers, capital ships, forts, have the ability to cause long-term suppression, which persists until the next non-ranged attack. Long-term suppression is shown by the unit's strength number color, and you can see here they've gone to red, meaning that if I were to hit them, they're not really going to attack very well. Long-term suppression, yellows for moderate suppression, red for heavy. This exact number of suppressed strength points can be seen in the UI sidebar. Suppressed strength does not participate in combat, which is a severe disadvantage. A huge disadvantage, because I can just hit this guy with pretty much no consequences at all. So he doesn't even fight back because he's suppressed. Okay. Let's push up. Let's push up. I know they're not going to come off this victory point, so we're just going to push. And my tanks are lagging behind a little bit. I think I'm going to bring them up in a bit of a flanking motion. No, let's undo that. Now you can undo turns so long as it doesn't expose enemy positions. So it can be useful. What I'm going to use, I'm going to get these guys to flank up behind all of this, because I don't really need them to take this, but I definitely need them to take out the artillery that's behind this defensive position. And I could tell even without knowing that there's artillery in this position, that there would be artillery in this position, because there's 3 potential fortified positions defending a position behind it, and that artillery can then lend support to anyone who is directly adjacent to them. So you can tell there's gonna be some kind of artillery there. All right, let's push up. push up there. Yeah. Push. And push. Now I'm going to move my artillery forward, trying to outdo some of the... let's have a look at this. So 3 are suppressed from that, and 4 are killed. If I attack them now, what I want to try and do is get them on a bigger front though, and use that mass attack tactic. The only thing I can really use for that is... Okay, we came off pretty good on that actually. Pretty good. Now I don't want my truck to go right hard up against this guy. So we'll just do that. And then I think these guys are on foot. No, they're not. The next guys are on foot. No, they're not. I lied. Nobody is on foot. Alright. Now we do have 1 turn. Do we want to use that? No, I don't think we do. We're just going to use that to keep the front high. I don't think they attack in this scenario at all. Okay, now they're suppressed. You can see they've got the little... Is that yellow or is that red? I'm not 100% sure. Can I use these guys? Because they're actually good at attacking. Oh, they did really poorly just then. And so did they. Yep, nailed it. Okay, got him. Let's push him up to take that position. And then we're going to use... No, we don't want to do that. Let's push there. And there. Gotcha. See? Artillery. I already knew that, but... I mean, even if I didn't, I would have. Now I'm going to set up a little bit of a cordon around here. Just to give me a bit of... Now I'm going to use my artillery... Have that sitting there, and I'm going to bring my recon within 1. And now I can see all the troops. So this recon can see 1, 2, 3 hexes away. And so he would have seen this as well. I think that's everything. Yep. It's in that turn. Turn 5. We're actually doing really, really well here. Now, we want to use our tanks. Oh, rugged defense. The enemy. You have no idea how angry I got about rugged defense when I was a kid. You know. Okay, so the enemy's retreated. Every hit you score on an enemy in combat converts to a kill or suppression. This defending unit retreats if all of its strength is either killed or suppressed. So we've given him a fair shellacking. I'm going to use this this recon to knock that out, and that's going to set me up in a really, really good position. So what I can do is I can set up... no, I don't want to do that actually. I want to push here, here, and here. And you can see I've set up this huge front for them to try and hold. And they're not going to be able to. And I'm going to bring this guy up, because then he can join the front over the other side. And we'll just slowly whittle away at them. It's going to cost us, for sure, but that's okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, I really want to not have to use that. Nah, I'm not too concerned about them getting reinforcements, actually. Oh, look at that. We have annihilated them. I'm just going to leave them, because I'll go down next turn. They won't even attack me this turn if I hit them hard enough. And you can see that wide front that I set up to take this has stretched them so thinly that they can't really defend properly. So it was a smart move to move all my troops right up. Yep, let's just kill him. Hopefully we kill one. Nope, we didn't. That's okay. I'm gonna... yeah, whatever. Push him up there, push him there, take that out. Push there. And that's gone. Nailed him. Now before we... I'm not sure how prestige works or whether it carries across or not, so I'm going to replace all of my troops that need it And let's just push up and take that now. And that's a decisive victory. Alright guys, we'll leave it there. I know I'm slowing things right down with my explanation of certain concepts and just a bit of my love of history and teaching you things as well, but I think it's mildly appropriate for having taken over from Fish Teachers. So, alright guys, thanks for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. I am mildly confident that we will complete the tutorial in the next episode, because I think we've now got all the concepts down pat, and I think there's only 3 tutorials missions, and there might be a 4th, but I think we'll have it all done. So yeah, again, if you enjoyed this episode, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel, helps me know that you're enjoying this series. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. It means that Fish Gaming videos will be in your YouTube mailbox every single day, and you will find a video from me every single day. Alright guys, I've been Fish, this has been Panzer Corps, and I'll catch you next time.